Hey there, everyone. Before we jump into the super exciting story, I need you to do something really, really important. Are you ready? Okay, here it is. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from today. Are you in a big city like New York? Or maybe a sunny place like Florida? Or hey, maybe you're all the way on the other side of the world. I want to know. And guess what? If you love stories that make your heart race and keep you guessing, you've got to hit that subscribe button right now. Go on, do it. Smash it. Oh, and one more super fun thing, here's a question to get your brain buzzing. Have you ever met someone who seemed totally normal, but was actually hiding a giant secret? Maybe it was a friend, or a neighbor, or even someone at school. Tell me all about it in the comments, because today's story is all about secrets, and huge surprises. Okay, are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Close your eyes for a second and picture this, a little town called Sunnyvale. It's super quiet and peaceful. The sun is just starting to peek over the hills, painting the sky orange and pink. The birds are singing their happy morning songs, and the streets are empty, well, almost empty. Because every single morning, rain or shine, there's one person out and about. Her name is Lily. Lily is a little girl, and she's always walking her two fluffy dogs down the same path. One of her dogs is big and shaggy, with long fur that flops over his eyes so he looks like a walking mop. The other dog is super tiny, but oh boy, does he have a loud bark. His bark is so loud, it could wake up the whole neighborhood. Woof. Woof. Now, when people in Sunnyvale see Lily walking her dogs, they think, oh, she's just a regular kid. She's probably heading to school after her walk. They see her and smile, because she looks so normal. But here's the thing, my friends. Lily is not just a regular kid. Nope. Not even close. There's something very, very special about her. Something nobody knows. Not yet, anyway. Let me tell you a little more about Lily. She's the quiet girl who lives in a tiny yellow house on Maple Street. It's the kind of house that looks cozy, with flowers in the front yard and a squeaky front gate. Lily always wears the same faded blue jacket. It's a little too big for her, and the sleeves cover her hands. Her sneakers are so old and worn out, you can see her socks peeking through the holes in the toes. Every morning, the neighbors see her walking by, and they wave and say, "Good morning, Lily." And Lily? She just smiles back, a shy little smile, while her dogs tug on their leashes, wagging their tails like crazy. Everyone thinks they know everything about her. Oh, that's just Lily, they say. She's so sweet and quiet. But here's the big, juicy secret. What nobody knows, what nobody even guesses, is that Lily is hiding something. Something so big, so amazing, so unbelievable, that it would change the way everyone in Sunnyvale looks at her, forever. Want to know what it is? Well, you'll have to keep listening, because I'm not telling you yet. Okay, now let's make things even more exciting. In this sleepy little town of Sunnyvale, there's one person who does not like Lily. Not one bit. His name is Mr. Grimsby. Mr. Grimsby is the richest man in town. He's super fancy, and he lives in a gigantic mansion up on the hill. His mansion is so big, it looks like a castle, with tall iron gates and a huge garden full of red roses. But here's the thing, nobody is allowed to touch those roses. Nope, not even to smell them. Mr. Grimsby thinks he's the boss of the whole town. He walks around acting like he owns everything and everyone. And guess what? He hates seeing Lily walk her dogs past his mansion every morning. He thinks her dogs are too loud. Those silly mutts, he grumbles from his big fancy window. Barking and making noise. And that girl, she's up to no good, I just know it. Every morning, Mr. Grimsby leans out his window and glares at Lily as she walks by. Sometimes, he even yells, "Get those noisy dogs away from my house, you pesky kid." The neighbors hear him and shake their heads, thinking, poor Lily. Why does Mr. Grimsby have to be so mean? But Lily? She doesn't cry. She doesn't yell back. She doesn't even look scared. Nope. She just keeps walking, her head down, her dogs wagging their tails like nothing's wrong. And here's the really interesting part, Lily isn't afraid of Mr. Grimsby. Not one tiny bit. Because Lily has a secret. A secret so big, so powerful, that it could turn Mr. Grimsby's perfect little world upside down. Want to know what it is? Oh, I bet you do. But I'm not going to tell you just yet. You'll have to stick around to find out, because the story is just getting started, and it's going to get wild. Now, let me give you one tiny hint, just one to keep you guessing. Lily's secret isn't something bad. Nope. It's something amazing. Something that makes her stronger than anyone in Sunnyvale, even mean old Mr. Grimsby. But SHH, don't tell anyone. Let's keep it between you and me for now. And hey, here's another fun question for you to think about: if you had a big secret, who would you tell? Your best friend? Your mom or dad? Or maybe you'd keep it all to yourself? Drop your answer in the comments below, because I'm dying to know. And remember, if you're loving this story so far, hit that like button to let me know. Okay, get ready, because things are about to get even more exciting. Okay, everyone, let's talk about Mr. Grimsby for a minute. Oh boy, this guy was something else. Mr. Grimsby was the kind of person who thought he was better than everyone in the whole wide world. He acted like he was the king of Sunnyvale, the boss of everything and everyone. He would walk around town in his fancy, shiny suits, with his nose stuck up in the air, telling people what to do. Move out of my way, he'd bark at kids playing on the sidewalk. Don't touch my roses, he'd yell at anyone who even looked at his garden. He thought he was so important, and he wanted everyone to know it. But guess who he picked on the most? Yup, you got it, poor little Lily. Every single morning, when Lily walked her dogs past his big mansion, Mr. Grimsby would get so mad. He'd lean out of his big, fancy window, his face all red and grumpy, and yell, "Get those noisy dogs off my street, you little pest." Oh, he was so mean. Those dogs weren't even doing anything bad, they were just wagging their tails and walking along, happy as can be. But Mr. Grimsby didn't care. He just wanted to shout and be mean. The neighbors who saw this would shake their heads and whisper to each other, "Poor Lily. Why does Mr. Grimsby have to be so mean to her? She's just a kid." Some people even felt sorry for her, saying, "She doesn't deserve that." But Lily? Oh, Lily was special. She didn't cry. She didn't yell back. She didn't even look scared. Nope. She just kept walking, her dogs trotting happily beside her, like nothing was wrong. And here's the best part: every time Mr. Grimsby shouted at her, Lily would do something amazing. She'd give him the tiniest little smile. Just a little one, like a secret smile. And that smile, it said something big. It said, "You have no idea who you're messing with, Mr. Grimsby." Now, let me ask you something super fun. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever met someone really mean, like Mr. Grimsby? What did you do? Did you ignore them, or did you say something back? I want to know all your stories, because the story is about to get even juicier. Oh, and if you're loving this so far, don't forget to hit that like button to cheer me on. Okay, here's where things start to get really, really interesting. One day, Mr. Grimsby decided he was done being just mean. Nope, he wanted to do something even bigger. He wanted to get rid of Lily and her dogs for good. So, guess what he did? He called a giant meeting at the town hall. Yup, a big, important meeting, just to talk about Lily. Can you believe that? Everyone in Sunnyvale showed up to see what the fuss was about. There was old Mrs. Jenkins, who brought her knitting needles and a big ball of yarn. There was young Tommy, who rolled in on his skateboard, doing tricks in the back. And there was even Mr. Carter, the mailman, who was still holding a big stack of letters. Everyone was there, sitting in rows, waiting to hear what Mr. Grimsby had to say. Mr. Grimsby marched up to the stage, his fancy shoes clicking on the floor, his face all red and angry. He grabbed the microphone and shouted so loud, the whole room went quiet. "That girl Lily, she's a troublemaker," he yelled, pointing his finger at the crowd like he was blaming them, too. "Her dogs are a menace. They bark and make noise and ruin my mornings. I say we ban her from walking them on our streets." Oh boy, the crowd gasped. Some people nodded their heads, thinking, well, those dogs are pretty loud sometimes. Others, though, weren't so sure. Old Mrs. Jenkins put down her knitting and frowned, saying, "Now, hold on just a minute, Mr. Grimsby. Lily's just a kid. She hasn't done anything wrong. Young Tommy shouted from the back, "Yeah, leave her alone. Her dogs are cool." But Mr. Grimsby didn't listen. He just kept going, waving his arms and yelling even louder. But here's where Mr. Grimsby made things even worse. He wasn't done yet. Nope, he had more to say. He pointed his finger at the crowd again, his eyes all squinty and mean, and said, "Mark my words, that girl is hiding something. I've seen the way she sneaks around, always looking over her shoulder, like she's up to no good. I bet she's doing something bad, and we need to stop her." Oh, the crowd went wild after that. People started buzzing with whispers, like bees in a hive. "Hiding something," one person said. "Sneaking around," another person whispered. "What could it be?" someone else asked. Everyone was talking, trying to guess what Lily could be up to. Poor Lily wasn't even there to tell her side of the story. She was at home, probably playing with her dogs, not even knowing that the whole town was talking about her. But here's the thing, my friends, Mr. Grimsby was right about one thing. Just one. Lily was hiding something. But oh boy, it wasn't what he thought. Not even close. Mr. Grimsby thought Lily was doing something bad, something sneaky, something mean. But the truth was so much bigger, so much better, so much more amazing than anything Mr. Grimsby could ever guess. And soon, very, very soon, Mr. Grimsby was going to wish he had never, ever picked a fight with little Lily and her fluffy dogs. Want to know why? Well, you'll have to stick around to find out, because this story is just getting started, and it's going to get wild. Now, here's one more fun question for you to think about. Drop your answer in the comments below. If someone was being mean to you, like Mr. Grimsby is to Lily, what would you do? Would you stay quiet, like Lily, or would you tell someone? I can't wait to read all your ideas. And remember, if you're loving this story, smash that like button to let me know. Okay, get ready, because the next part is going to be even more exciting. Okay, everyone, hold on to your seats, because this is the part you've been waiting for. Oh boy, it's going to be wild. One sunny morning, Mr. Grimsby decided he couldn't take it anymore. Nope, he was done waiting, done watching, done being sneaky. He was going to catch Lily once and for all, and he was going to do it right now. So, guess what he did? He waited until Lily stopped at the big old oak tree, just like she always did. He hid behind his rose bushes, peeking through his binoculars, watching every single move she made. He saw her whisper to her dogs, her big shaggy dog and her tiny loud dog, and he saw their tails wag like crazy. He watched them dig up the little hole under the tree, just like always. And he saw Lily pull out that shiny metal box, slip something inside, and cover it back up with dirt. But this time, Mr. Grimsby wasn't going to let her walk away. Nope. As soon as Lily started walking away, her dogs trotting happily beside her, Mr. Grimsby sprang into action. Yup, you heard that right, sprang into action. He jumped out from behind his rose bushes, his fancy suit all covered in leaves, and ran to the tree as fast as his legs could carry him. He grabbed a stick from the ground and started digging like a madman. Dig, dig, dig. Dirt was flying everywhere, all over his shiny shoes and his fancy pants, but he didn't care. "I've got you now, you little sneak," he shouted, so loud that the whole park could hear him. Birds flew out of the trees, dogs barked in the distance, and people started running over to see what was going on. What's all the noise, they wondered. What's Mr. Grimsby doing? Pretty soon, a big crowd gathered around the oak tree. There was old Mrs. Jenkins, still holding her knitting needles, her eyes wide with surprise. There was young Tommy, zooming up on his skateboard, shouting, "Whoa, what's happening?" And there was Mr. Carter, the mailman, with his big bag of letters, peeking over everyone's shoulders. They all watched as Mr. Grimsby dug up the little hole under the tree, his face red with excitement. And then, oh, this is the best part, he pulled out the shiny metal box. "Aha," he yelled, holding the box up high, waving it around like a trophy. "Let's see what you've been hiding, Lily." The crowd gasped. Everyone leaned in, trying to see what was going on. And guess who else was there? Yup, Lily. She had heard all the shouting and turned around to see what was happening. She walked back to the tree, her dog sitting calmly beside her, and you know what? She didn't look scared. Not one tiny bit. In fact, she looked excited. Yup, excited. Like she'd been waiting for this moment all along. Now, let me ask you something super fun. Drop a comment below and tell me, if you were Lily, and someone was about to open your secret box, would you be scared, or would you be excited? Why? I can't wait to read all your answers, because the story is about to get even crazier. Oh, and if you're loving this so far, don't forget to hit that like button to cheer me on. Okay, back to the story. Mr. Grimsby was so sure he'd caught Lily doing something bad. He thought that box was full of stolen stuff, like shiny jewels or piles of money, or maybe even secret plans to cause trouble. So, with everyone watching, he ripped open the box, tearing the lid off with a big, loud creak. The crowd held their breath, waiting to see what was inside. Mr. Grimsby looked in, expecting to find something terrible, something that would prove he was right about Lily. But instead, he found papers. Yup, just a bunch of papers, all covered in handwriting. No jewels, no money, no secret plans, just papers. The crowd leaned in, super confused. What is it? Someone whispered. What's on those papers? Someone else asked. Mr. Grimsby's face turned pale, like he'd seen a ghost. He started reading the papers, and his hands began to shake. This can't be, he stammered, his voice all wobbly. And then, guess who spoke up? Yup, Lily. She stepped forward, her voice loud and clear, and said, "Go ahead, Mr. Grimsby. Read it out loud. Let everyone know the truth. And here's the big reveal, the moment you've all been waiting for. Oh boy, are you ready? Those papers. They weren't just any papers. They were letters. Yup, letters written by Mr. Grimsby himself. And guess what those letters said? They proved that Mr. Grimsby had been cheating the town for years. Yup, years and years. He'd been stealing money from the town, lying to people, and even trying to shut down the park where kids played and dogs ran around so he could build a big, fancy hotel and make even more money. Can you believe it? Mr. Grimsby, the richest man in Sunnyvale, was a big, fat liar, and those letters proved it all. But wait, there's more. Guess who had found those letters? Yup, little Lily. See, Lily wasn't just a regular kid walking her dogs. Nope, not at all. She was a detective. A real-life, honest-to-goodness detective, working undercover to catch bad guys like Mr. Grimsby. And her dogs. Oh, they weren't just pets. Nope. They were trained to sniff out clues, like super smart detective dogs. That shiny metal box under the tree? It was where Lily kept all the evidence she'd been collecting, piece by piece, day by day. Every morning, when she stopped at the tree, she was adding more proof to her secret box, waiting for the perfect moment to show the world the truth. The crowd went wild. "Lily, you're amazing," shouted young Tommy, jumping up and down on his skateboard. "I knew there was something special about you," cried old Mrs. Jenkins, clapping her hands so hard she dropped her knitting. Mr. Carter, the mailman, cheered, "Way to go, Lily." Everyone was shouting and clapping, so happy to find out the truth. And Mr. Grimsby? Oh boy, his face turned bright red, then white, then red again, like a flashing light. This is nonsense," he sputtered, trying to make excuses. But it was too late. The truth was out, and everyone could see it. And Lily? She just smiled her little secret smile and said, "I told you, Mr. Grimsby. You picked the wrong kid to mess with." Now, here's one more fun question for you to think about. Drop your answer in the comments below. If you were a detective, what kind of clues would you look for to catch a bad guy? Would you follow footprints, or listen for secrets, or maybe use a magnifying glass? I'm dying to know what you'd do. And remember, if you're loving this story, smash that like button to let me know. Okay, get ready, because the next part is going to wrap everything up in the best way possible. Okay, everyone, let's wrap this up. Oh boy, after Lily's big, amazing reveal, everything in Sunnyvale changed in the best way possible. The whole town was buzzing, talking about what just happened under that big old oak tree. And guess what? They all turned against Mr. Grimsby. Yup, every single person. Old Mrs. Jenkins, young Tommy, Mr. Carter the mailman, and even the people who used to think Mr. Grimsby was so important, they were all mad at him now. How could he do such bad things, they whispered. Stealing money? Lying to us? Trying to take away our park? Oh, they were not happy, not one bit. So, guess what happened next? The mayor of Sunnyvale, a nice lady named Mayor Thompson, stepped in to fix everything. She looked at the letters Lily found, those papers full of Mr. Grimsby's sneaky plans, and she said, "This is terrible. We can't let this bad man get away with it." So, she called the police. Yup, the police. Within hours, just a few hours, 2 big police officers showed up at the park, their shiny badges glinting in the sun. They walked right up to Mr. Grimsby, who was still standing there, holding the empty metal box, his face all red and sweaty. "Mr. Grimsby," one of the officers said, "you're coming with us." And then, oh, this is the best part, they put handcuffs on his wrists. Yup, shiny silver handcuffs, just like in the movies. Mr. Grimsby tried to wiggle away, yelling, "This isn't over. You can't do this to me." But oh, it was over. Big time. The police led him away, right past the crowd, and everyone cheered. "Good job, Lily," they shouted. "You showed him. Now, let me ask you something super fun. Drop a comment below and tell me, if you saw a bad guy getting caught, like Mr. Grimsby, would you cheer, or would you stay quiet? Why? I can't wait to read all your answers, because the story is about to get even better. Oh, and if you're loving this so far, don't forget to hit that like button to cheer me on. Okay, back to the story. Those letters Lily found, the ones Mr. Grimsby wrote, were super important. They were proof, big, solid proof that he'd been doing bad things for years and years. Stealing money from the town, lying to everyone, and trying to shut down the park just so he could build a big, fancy hotel to make even more money. Can you believe it? Because INTL. So, the police took those letters to the police station, and guess what? They were enough to send Mr. Grimsby to jail for a long, long time. Yup, a really, really long time. He wouldn't be coming back to Sunnyvale to cause trouble ever again. And the park? Oh, the park was saved, thanks to Lily. Everyone was so happy, they decided to do something special to say thank you. They had a big meeting, not a mean one like Mr. Grimsby's, but a happy one, and they decided to name the park Lily's Park. Yup, Lily's Park. They even put up a big, shiny sign at the entrance that said, "Lily's Park, home of Sunnyvale's bravest detective." Every time people walked by, they'd see that sign and remember how amazing Lily was. Kids would play on the swings, dogs would run around, and everyone would smile, thinking, this is all because of Lily. And what about Lily? Well, she didn't stop being a detective. Nope, not at all. She kept walking her dogs every morning, just like always, her big shaggy dog and her tiny loud dog trotting happily beside her. But now, things were different. The neighbors who used to just wave and smile would stop to chat, asking, "Lily, what case are you working on now? Are you solving another big mystery?" And Lily? She'd just grin, her little secret smile, and say, "Oh, you'll find out soon enough." Her dogs would bark happily, like they were saying, "Yup, we're on the case." And everyone would laugh, knowing that if there was ever any trouble in Sunnyvale, Lily and her detective dogs would be there to save the day. Now, the people of Sunnyvale learned a big, important lesson from all of this. They learned not to judge people by how they look, or where they live, or what kind of sneakers they wear. Because sometimes, the quietest kid in town, the one everyone overlooks, the one who seems so normal, might just be the bravest, smartest, most amazing person of all. And Lily? She was proof of that. She showed everyone that you don't have to be big or loud or fancy to make a difference. You just have to be brave and smart and never give up, no matter how mean people are to you. Now, here's one more fun question for you to think about. Drop your answer in the comments below. If you could name a park, what would you call it? Would it be your name, like Lily's Park, or something totally cool, like Adventure Park or Dinosaur Park? I'm dying to know what you'd pick. And remember, if you're loving this story, smash that like button to let me know. Okay, get ready, because the next part is going to leave you feeling super happy and inspired. Okay, let's talk about Sunnyvale a little more, because things got so much better after Mr. Grimsby was gone. The town felt happier, brighter, like a big, dark cloud had gone away. People started being nicer to each other, helping each other, and saying thank you more often. And every time someone new moved to Sunnyvale, the neighbors would tell them the story of Lily and her dogs. You won't believe it, they'd say, but this quiet little girl saved our park and caught a bad guy. And the new people would smile, thinking, wow, this is a pretty special town. And guess what else? Lily's dogs became super famous, too. Kids would run up to pet them, saying, "Hi, detective dogs," and the dogs would wag their tails, happy to be part of the team. Sometimes, Lily would even teach the kids how to look for clues, like footprints in the dirt or strange marks on a tree. You never know what you might find, she'd say, and the kids would giggle, feeling like detectives themselves. Sunnyvale wasn't just a town anymore, it was a place where everyone felt like they could be a hero, just like Lily. And there you have it, everyone, the amazing story of Lily, the little girl who fooled everyone and saved the day. Oh boy, wasn't that wild? But before I go, I want you to stop and think about something super important. Are you ready? Here it is. Have you ever judged someone too quickly, just because they seemed ordinary? Maybe it was a kid at school who's super quiet, or a neighbor who seems boring, or even someone who doesn't dress fancy like everyone else. Or hey, maybe you felt like nobody notices how special you are, like you're invisible, and nobody sees the real you. Well, guess what? Here's the big, amazing truth: sometimes, the quietest people have the loudest stories. And sometimes, the smallest heroes like little Lily make the biggest difference in the whole wide world. Let's think about Lily for a minute. When people in Sunnyvale saw her walking her dogs, they thought, oh, she's just a regular kid. Nothing special. They saw her old sneakers with holes, her faded blue jacket, and her quiet little smile, and they didn't think twice. But guess what? Lily wasn't just a regular kid. Nope, not at all. She was a detective, a super smart, super brave detective who saved the park, caught a bad guy, and taught everyone a big lesson. And that lesson? It's this: don't judge people by how they look on the outside, because inside, they might be the most amazing person ever. Now, let me ask you something super fun. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever met someone who surprised you, like Lily surprised everyone? Maybe they seemed ordinary, but then they did something amazing, like scoring a goal in soccer, or drawing a super cool picture, or helping someone in a big way. I can't wait to read all your stories, because this is all about finding the heroes hiding around us. Oh, and if you're loving this story, don't forget to hit that like button to cheer me on. Okay, let's talk about you for a minute. Yup, you, the awesome person watching this right now. Maybe you feel like Lily sometimes. Maybe you feel like nobody sees how special you are. Maybe people overlook you, or tease you, or don't give you a chance to shine. But here's the big, important thing to remember: you are special, just like Lily. Yup, super special. You have your own talents, your own ideas, your own amazing things inside you, even if nobody sees them yet. And guess what? Just like Lily, you can do big things. You can be brave, you can be smart, and you can make a difference, no matter how small you feel. All it takes is believing in yourself, just like Lily believed in herself, even when Mr. Grimsby was mean to her. Now, let's think about Mr. Grimsby, too. Oh boy, he made a big mistake, didn't he? He thought he was better than everyone else, just because he had a fancy mansion and lots of money. He judged Lily by her old sneakers and her noisy dogs, and he thought she was nothing. But guess what? He was so wrong. Lily showed him and everyone else that it's not about how much money you have, or how fancy your clothes are, or how big your house is. It's about what's inside your heart. It's about being kind, being brave, and doing the right thing, even when it's hard. So, let's make a promise right now, okay? Let's promise not to be like Mr. Grimsby. Let's promise to look for the good in people, to give everyone a chance, and to never, ever judge someone too quickly. Because you never know, they might just be a hero, like Lily. Now, here's one more fun question for you to think about. Drop your answer in the comments below. If you could be a hero, like Lily, what would you do? Would you solve a mystery, like she did? Would you help someone who's sad? Or maybe you'd save a park, or a forest, or even a whole town. I'm dying to know what kind of hero you'd be. because I bet you'd be amazing. And remember, if you're loving this story, smash that like button to let me know. Okay, let's keep going, because there's more to talk about. Okay, let's imagine something super cool. Close your eyes for a second and picture this, a world where everyone is like Lily. Yup, a world where everyone is brave, and kind, and doesn't judge people by how they look. A world where the quiet kids, the shy kids, the kids who feel invisible, they all get a chance to shine. Wouldn't that be awesome? And guess what? You can help make that world happen. Yup, you. Every time you're nice to someone, every time you help someone, every time you give someone a chance, you're making the world a little bit better, just like Lily did. And who knows? Maybe one day, people will tell stories about you, saying, wow, that kid was a hero, just like Lily. Now, let's think about Sunnyvale one last time. After Lily saved the day, the town wasn't just happier, it was kinder, too. People started helping each other more, saying thank you more, and being friends with everyone, not just the fancy people. And every time they walked by Lily's park, they'd smile, remembering how one little girl made such a big difference. So, let's take that lesson with us, okay? Let's be like Lily, not like Mr. Grimsby. Let's be brave, let's be kind, and let's always look for the heroes hiding around us. Because sometimes, the smallest heroes like you, like me, like Lily can change the world in the biggest ways. Okay, everyone, that's it for today's story, but before I go, I want to say one last thing, you are awesome. Yup, super awesome. Never forget that, no matter what anyone says. And hey, if this story made you smile, or think, or feel inspired, drop a comment below and tell me what you loved most. Was it Lily's detective skills? Her brave dogs? Or maybe the big surprise under the tree? I can't wait to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another story. Okay, bye for now, and remember, be a hero, just like Lily.